Okay, so I'm just going to give you the full damn rundown story time. I met the dude on Facebook dating. We talked for a while. I said, listen, I don't drive. Here's the certain reasons why. He said, okay, that's cool. That's fine with me. I just want somebody I can hang out with. I said, okay, well, how about you come on over? We'll do a date. He said, perfect. I'll drive to you. I said, okay, I'll go home and get ready. Granted, I missed a rodeo for this dude. Okay? Never doing that again. He's talking to his mom the whole way up here, which is completely fine. But that's a key detail here. He goes down to the gas station up here at Wolf Laurel. It's called it's the BP now. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Well, it's the BP now. And he was like, okay, hey, I'm standing up here at the top of my driveway. If anybody's ever picked me up or has hung out with me in real life, off this app, you know that my driveway is a hidden driveway, and it's like right there in a curb, which a lot of y'all know if you hang out with me. And, well, he was like, okay, well, I'll be up in just a sec. I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm out standing in the fucking cold for 30 minutes while he's talking to his mom. I said, okay, could you, come on? Because it's, super fucking cold. So he does. He comes on up, and he's got his dog with him. He has a Belgian Malinois. All right, very beautiful, but he calls her a service dog. This dog was not a service dog. We get out in public, and I said, do you have a leash for her? He said, she don't need a leash. This dog is so untrained. It's walking up to people, sniffing them, licking them, humps my leg more than once. I'm just like, dude, could you just, get your dog under control? We go to 3 different restaurants on Patton Avenue before he decides on one, because he wanted no MSG, no nothing. One person wouldn't let them in with the dog, and I went back later on that night and asked him why, and he was like, because he came in here one time and the dog literally was jumping on everybody's table, grabbing food. If it was a service dog, it would not act like this. We end up going to the Irish pub, and I got potato skins and he got wings, okay? And first thing he says when I sit down at the table, he was like, you've worn 55 pounds of makeup. You look so unnatural. And you said in your bio you were getting back in the gym. P.S. No, I didn't. He was like, honestly, you look like a cow or a woman who had just given birth, and now you got a flabby belly. You just got a little sack down there. Let's all remind this. This man was not this good enough to be looking at, but I'm going to post his Facebook dating profile just because, it's not doxing you. It's just showing you that you can't treat women like shit. So then he was like, I need to go turn my water on. And I kept thinking, okay, this man was 41. So I kept thinking, okay, he's probably just nervous. I'll let that little fucking comment slide. But if you know me, you know I hang on to shit. So we get up, we leave. He does what he does. We go out. He locks his keys up in the damn car. In the car. Ooh. So this other gentleman that's in this place right here, I forget what it's called. I'll go back and take a picture of it, but it's a really cool place. I walked in there and said, hey, can I have some duct tape or a wired hanger to unlock this car? Because you can pull in the window with the duct tape, whatever, and the wired hanger. Yeah, get the keys. This dude had this car to where I could not get out on my side. He was like, oh, you won't be able to unlock the car from the from the passenger seat. And the man who was trying to help me unlock the car was like, what do you mean? And by the way, this guy had already been calling AAA, and his dog was smelling everybody's ass, jumping on top of cars, everything. Oh yeah, but it's quote unquote service dog. It's just a Belgian Malinois who's 4 years old with fucking energy. That's not a goddamn service dog. It listened to 2 basic commands. Whoop-de-doo. At this point, get a fucking chihuahua. He was like, oh, her door will not unlock. I have to unlock the passenger door. So we finally get that unlocked. after I went to different bars and restaurants before getting to the man with the wired hangers and was like, hey, do any of you got some duct tape? You got anything that I can get into this car, pop through the window and get the keys? We called AAA. Now we're heading out to where he lives in Rutherford, okay? Because he quote unquote had to go turn his water on. If you live around here, it's not that far. It really is not. He was like, well, you can stay and organize my place. I said, well, how big's your house? He said, oh, I don't have a house. I have a camper. A camper. And I was like, you want me to stay here until 3 in the morning and organize your stuff? And he was like, yes. And we were getting next to like where the airport was. Airport Road. Like, you know, where you're trying to go to the airport. And I was like, you need to take me home now. I'm not doing this shit. I did not feel comfortable for him telling me he's going to keep me until 3 a.m. in the fucking morning. Yes, keep me. And so when I tell him to take me home, the energy automatically shifts and automatically change. He gets like super mean, and you can tell because he's just like, oh, I should not have wasted my time. I should have not done this. Yada, 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 yada. And I was like, oh my God, just let him get me home. Let him get me home. Like, I kept thinking in the back of my mind, I'm going to either have to use my window breaker in my purse, my box cutter in my purse, or my pepper spray. Whichever one will get in first, I'm going to have to use. But it was a horrible first date, and he honestly made me feel so uncomfortable. Just so many red flags, like, on the first date. And you wanted to talk to your mom and get her permission to go on a date. But also just the fact of being embarrassed with a dog that you claim is so service and you yell at our waiter. Yes, he yelled at our waitress because she did not bring the dog a bowl of water or didn't ask. He was like, that's coming out of your tip. Moral of the story, don't go on dates with douchebags from Facebook dating. I'm still going to use Facebook dating, but yeah, just moral of the story, talk to him longer, I guess. Okay, bye. I just saw the views on my video I just made about my worst date ever. First of all, thank all of you. Wow. I just want to be like, I just want to say that I am human, and I didn't do this for views or nothing, but that was a lot of views. But what I'm saying is, I think everybody should just spread awareness about what it's like to go on a first date, because it is scary and it is petrifying at the same exact time to go out with somebody and then they turn around and do it again. So therefore, I will post the screenshot of his profile, and then you all drop a comment about what you think. Oh my God. Again, thank you all so much. So this is Joshua. That was my date for Facebook dating. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's just him. All right, bye.
Okay, story time of how I almost died at my apartment complex 2 days ago. So to enter into the building, you need to like tap the door or like the little sensor to get in. So you can't use a key. So this is what it looks like. So usually me and my boyfriend go to the gym downstairs every day if we don't drive to the public gym. So around 10:30, we normally go downstairs. So this particular day, we went downstairs at 10:30 and we tap in, enter, and then we already see one individual working out, doing her thing. So we get started, and about 16 minutes later, things go downhill. Also, I forgot to mention that the door to the gym, it's like a heavy duty glass door. So whenever someone enters and it shuts right away, it automatically locks. Whenever I am doing something at the gym, either I have AirPods on or headphones on, I always have like one AirPod off or one headphone like tilted off, just so like I know what's going on in my surroundings. So mid-workout, I hear a bunch of banging noises by the glass door. So I turn around and I see like 4 individuals calling for help, banging the door, and my boyfriend was the closest to the door. So he went over there to see what was going on, and the 4 individuals lived there, so they already tapped themselves in. And I noticed that one of the girls was already on the phone with the police. And they were also friends with the girl that was initially in the gym room. So we're all hiding behind the glass door, and we see a naked man, like naked from the waist down, launching stools and chairs across the area. And he sees us because it's a glass door. He sees us. So he starts launching chairs at us, stools at us. He threw a printer at the glass door. He threw a vending machine at the glass door. It was like a grown man using his full force trying to break this door down to get to us. There was a piece of a broken leg chair that he was waving around, which is what I thought was a machete or a baseball bat or another weapon. And that was at the point where I was like, yeah, like I might just die in here if he gets to me. So the last thing he throws at us was, I believe, a MacBook desktop or a printer, something heavy, and it eventually props the door open. Mind you, my boyfriend was standing at the front door holding it like in place so it doesn't budge open, and it's still propped open. Also, I want to mention that no security guards were there. He didn't even know what was going on, and no alarms were set off. So the moment the door popped open, I found the nearest exit and I was out of there. So I'm running across the street. I hear the same people behind me. I hear my boyfriend behind me. We're all running. We find coverage in the streets and we're all hiding behind these cars. So when I went outside, I had thought that it was only us that he was targeting, but I seen like a line of people already hiding outside also. And as we're hiding behind these cars, he runs towards like the main entrance of the building, sees us, and proceeds to throw more items at us. He then grabs a fire extinguisher, which we all thought was like a homemade bomb, a grenade, because there was a bunch of smoke. So we're all crouching down, trying to not get blown up. And then we realize it's a fire extinguisher. He drops it. He goes to the manager's office and breaks the entire entrance. He breaks the door. It was crazy to me because the police were already called the moment those girls ran into the gym, and they still did not arrive. Like, even 2 firefighter trucks came and like 2 ambulances came before the police even got there. At this point, my boyfriend is keeping eyes on the suspect just so we don't lose him. So as we're waiting for the police, the firefighters already went through the entrance to do a little sweep, went to the gym, went by the lounge area, and they could not find him. So it was a whole ordeal. A bunch of police officers came. We had police helicopters flying above us trying to find this man. So eventually we were told that they found him hiding between a bush and he ran off before anyone got to him. So we're staying outside for about an hour before we're told, hey, you guys are ready to go. And I'm a very paranoid person as it is. So I'm speaking directly to the policeman. And I'm like, are you guys not going to do a sweep? You're not going to check our building? Mind you, we're seven floor complex that has a pool, has a dog park. Like, it's a huge building. And they're like, well, he's probably ran off by now. It's most likely he's not in the building. So by this point, all the residents have left, policemen left, firefighters left, everyone's gone. So it's just me and my boyfriend downstairs. So we're slowly walking up. We go in the elevator and we're in our apartment by now. And my boyfriend's like, oh shit, like I forgot my AirPods. So we go downstairs, we get his AirPods. We find out that the crazy man launched his hydro flask somewhere, so that's gone. And then we go back upstairs again. And I'm still very paranoid. I'm looking around, I'm walking, I'm looking behind every corner. I told my boyfriend to go take a shower because it was getting late. So then I start doing the dishes. And whenever I'm doing dishes or chores, I have my iPad up and I'm watching something. So I was watching Malcolm in the Middle, and it was a scene where he was like arguing with somebody. So there's a bunch of loud noises. So as I'm washing dishes, I hear someone knocking my door. So I thought it was my show. So I just carried on. And I hear a doorbell. So I'm like, oh, it's probably my show again. And then I was like, what if it's him? What if it's the crazy naked man? So I'm tiptoeing to my door and I look in the peephole. So when I initially look at the peephole, I don't see anyone. So in my mind, I'm like, like maybe it's the police officers or the security guard or management wanting to follow up with me about the report. So my hand was like holding on to the door handle, and randomly my brain was like, what if it's him? What if he's ringing your doorbell and crouching down and hiding? So I stand on my tippy toes and I look down, and there he was. Now he was fully nude at my fucking door, and crouching down, hiding. So I quickly tiptoed to the bathroom to tell my boyfriend mid-shower that that crazy man that tried to kill us in the beginning is now at our door. So he hops out, we go to the kitchen, we grab a knife, and we wait. And I had already called the police, and then I called management, like I called the security team. Because if the police didn't come initially when he was actively trying to get us, why would I think they would come now? And when I was talking to the security guard, he was like, oh, you found him? Where is he? And I was like, at my door. What do you mean? Why would I call you? And he's like, okay, just stand back and hide. Just like brace yourself. And then he said he'll call the cops. So I told him, I had already called the cops. Please come here. He's at my fucking door. And I have call logs of when I called the police, when I called security team, and it was 10 minutes of me just staying there, me and my boyfriend standing there bracing ourselves, waiting to see if he'll bust my door open. And I had to call the cops multiple times just to ask, hey, are you guys here? Are you guys here? Call management, are you guys here? Are you guys here? So by the time the security guards came to my door, the guy had already run off. The police come to my door 10 minutes after security guards came to my door and asked, where is he? Sir, how would I know? And they asked me, do you know what he looks like? Yes, he was sitting at my door. How would I not know what he looked like? So I called the police back about 30 to an hour later, and I asked, hey, did you guys get him? And they said, no, we lost him. So at this point, I don't know if he's found. I don't know what's going on.
Did you encounter him? No, that's what I was saying.
This is day 3 of healing from my breakup while 6 months pregnant. Is this a safe space? That's first. Let me ask: is this a safe space before I go ahead and tell y'all what's really going on? Yeah, girl, keep folding. Like, I am not about to cap to y'all. I keep folding. And I keep making a fool out of myself. Like, tell me, when does that end? When does the making a fool out of yourself come to an end? Because right now I'm at my prime. Like, I'm I'm doing the best. Like, I don't even, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm crashing out. I know I'm crashing out, but it's like, it's not like crashing out. It's more of like a we know. Like, I'm gonna keep fucking calling because, bitch, I got something to say. And I don't give a fuck how many times you hang up on me, bitch. I'm gonna keep calling. And then he just not gonna answer. And then I'm gonna just get mad. And then, I don't know. But okay, so here's the thing. I wanna, I wanna have sex. Like, I do. And I'm pregnant. So it ain't like I could just go find somebody else or start talking to somebody else. It's like, I'm already carrying your child. We might as well, like, and if you gonna talk to people, just keep your bitches in check. Like, I don't need another woman to woman. Keep them hoes over there. Like, if we focus on what we got going on, I don't give a fuck about what you got going on. Just don't be out here in anything and everything. But, like, just give me some. Like, am I wrong, y'all? Is the crash out that bad? Am I crashing out that bad? Do I look that stupid? Y'all could remember, this is a safe space. Safe space. Y'all tell me, how long does this phase last, and when will I, like, come to my senses and realize this man do not want me? Like, how?
Y'all, I have to make a part 2. I just have to make a part 2 because I am crashing out, y'all. I'm crashing out bad. And I'm trying not to be one of those people that, like, cry on these videos. But y'all, I don't know why I can't get myself together. I don't know why I cannot pull myself together. I don't know why I keep calling him, begging him to be with me, like crying on the phone, and he has no emotion to me whatsoever. Like, there's no emotion. All he care about is just me getting an abortion. And if I ain't getting an abortion, he feels as if though that I'm trapping him and I'm only like keeping a baby to keep him around. And it's just like, that is not the case. We made this baby out of fucking love. Like, we made this baby. I had to make sure my job couldn't hear me because I'm in a meeting.
But we made this baby out of love, y'all. Like, out of plain love. We were together in a relationship. It's not as if, though, that I was just somebody you were just messing around with and I got a baby and I just decided to keep it. That's not the case with us at all. We were together, but because we're not together no more, you feel like we supposed to just cut all ties and I'm supposed to get rid of it? Like, I want to come to my senses. First of all, I finally blocked him. I'm like, girl, he's hurting your feelings every time on his phone. Like, literally, blatantly hurting your feelings, and you're just sitting there taking it, and you're just sitting there just like, because you love him and you want to be with him, you're just being stupid. Like, I'm drinking some serious dumb bitch juice, okay? Serious. And I really just want to say, maybe it is because I'm pregnant. Maybe. Maybe I don't have self-love right now. Maybe I don't love myself. I don't know what it is, but I was just acting so dumb calling this man. I think I called him about 7 times. Maybe more if you want to count this morning. I'm trying. And these videos are the only thing that's, I feel like, making me feel safe. Feel like I can just talk. I don't have to have a response back, but I can just talk. Y'all, I'm so hurt. And I can't wait for y'all. That's why I'm making these videos so y'all can see the journey. So after I get past all this and y'all see my new life and y'all see me all happy, we can all look back on these videos and laugh. Like, oh God, I can't wait till we get there.
I am 27 years old and about to get divorced from my husband after only being married for 3 months. I posted this story time yesterday, but I deleted it because I got scared. I'm not going to yap too much because I know this story. This is only part 1 and it's going to take the whole 10 minutes. So I'm just about to get right into it. So my husband and I got married within a year of dating. I know. People going to say that was too fast or yada, yada, yada. But in my head, I didn't think that was too fast because that was my man. That was my man. I loved him. He always treated me right. He was kind, protective. He was a problem solver. He was strong and handsome. He was in a gym. He prayed with me. Like, he just took care of me, really. So I didn't think there was anything to it. There was some things that he was missing when it comes to what I desired in a man and a husband. But I had never had a man that was treating me in this way. And he just came at a time where I was like, oh, that's gotta be God. And it wasn't. So, it's important to note that my husband is an alcoholic. Well, my soon-to-be ex-husband is an alcoholic. And he always claimed that he actually wasn't an alcoholic, which is red flag number 1. But he's an alcoholic. So there would be times where he would occasionally slip up when it comes to drinking while we were still dating, but it wouldn't be anything major. It'd be like a couple 4 Locos or something, but he wouldn't be like drunk or messed up. Well, actually there was a couple times where he got drunk, but I never thought too much of it because it was like once every blue moon. So I was like, oh, okay, he's just going through some things. Mental health and black men, he just needs somebody to be there for him. I'm not going to be that woman that turns my back on him when he needs somebody, yada, yada, yada. So fast forward, and it's about time for us to get married. Well, it's not time for... We didn't plan our marriage. We eloped. It was like a decision like that. We had already been talking about getting married, but we didn't plan to do it when we did it. So about a week prior to us getting married, things were getting rough in our relationship, and it was stressing me out. There was just a lot of things going on. He was drinking more and he was just not okay mentally. And I was calling off work to take care of him and all the other stuff. So one day we was on the way home and he looked at me and said, let's get married. And I'm like, what? Like, are you sure? Because are you sure you're not saying that out of emotions right now? Because, you were already drinking a little bit. Are you sure that you actually want to do this? And I should have been the one to be like, no, we're not going to do that. But I wanted to get married so bad that I overlooked all the red flags that was staring at me blatantly in the face. It was just, I was blind. Like, I didn't see it. I had on rose-colored lenses. So anyways, that same day we said, let's get married, we went and got married, bought the rings and everything the same day, and went to the courthouse and got married. And I was so happy after we got married. Like, it was great. He was sober, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is it. I found my person. I'm married now. Like, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives. This is going to be so great. God is going to bless us because we did the right thing, yada, yada, yada. So literally right after we got married, he decided he wanted to go get a drink to celebrate. And I'm like, that's an odd way to celebrate it when you're supposed to be sober. Like, we're supposed to just be enjoying this together, sober. But, I digress. So he went and got like some wine, I think. And from that point on, that man was literally drinking every day. Things went downhill so quickly after we got married. There was literally not one day where we were able to celebrate or just be happy as newlyweds. There was not one day at all. He might have been happy because he was just living it up. But I was miserable because he quit his job right after that. So he didn't have a job. We just had my car, and it's all rink-a-dink. And he stopped doing anything. He wasn't helping me around the house. He wasn't helping me with anything at all. I was doing all the cooking and cleaning, and I was taking care of him like he was a newborn. Like, whatever you have to do with a newborn, I was doing that for him. I'm not going to go into details, but I was doing that. I was a caretaker. I was a caretaker because he was too drunk to take care of himself. This was really taking a toll on our relationship, on me. I was extremely stressed out. I grew resentful towards him because this is not what I signed up for. This is not the man that I agreed to marry. This is not the man that I originally met. This is not the man I fell in love with. I felt like I got duped. I felt like he had on a mask the entire time, or at least pretended for as long as he could. And as soon as we got married, he just stopped caring. He just gave up because he knew how I felt about divorce. He knew that I didn't, I would do everything in my power not to get a divorce. And I believe he took advantage of that. So, he was on one of his binge days where he was just drinking, to the point where seeing him sober made me happy because he actually did something, because he was never sober. He woke up before he ate breakfast. He was at the gas station buying a drink. So one day this is the downfall towards things, because I was willing to work with him through all this other stuff. I said, we can go get you in rehab. I'm going to stand beside you. I'm going to help you. You just need help. You just need prayer, all of this stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to stand beside him. I'm going to stick beside him. It's hard, but hey. So anyways, this what I'm about to say next is when things started to really go downhill. So he was drunk and he was outside talking on the phone, and my spider senses was tingling. So I'm at the window, because he was standing next to the window. I'm listening to his conversation. He's on the phone with his ex-girlfriend. He's on the phone with his ex-girlfriend confessing that he wants to be with her. Whatever it takes, we can forget about the past. I want to be with you. I want to be with you. I'll leave right now. You just got to tell me that you want this. Mind you, we're married. So I walk outside like, nigga, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you talking? Who are you talking to, first of all? And I found out it was his ex, and that really pissed me off. I started crying. And I was like, why would you do this to me? Why would you wait till after we get married to do all this? You could have just left me alone. You could have left me where I was. We could have stayed as boyfriend and girlfriend. You didn't have to marry me. Now we have to, in order to separate, we have to get divorced. There's no breaking up and just walking away. We have to get divorced. So I was pissed, and he saw me crying, and he started to tear up. It seemed like it bothered him that he hurt me, but not enough to stop, because he went into the house. Literally after that conversation, went into the house, called her again in the bedroom while I'm standing right there. Now, after this, he claimed to not remember doing it. He was like, oh, I was drunk. I don't remember doing that stuff. I only want you. I don't want her. I don't know why I did that, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not happy about this at all. But I'm like, you know what? It's just words. Nothing really happened. So, I really pissed about it. So I don't really forgive you, but what can I do right now? So we just continue, and I'm still resentful for him, towards him, not really talking to him, and just, So after this, he ends up calling somebody to be like, oh, hey, I just need a break. I need to get out of here, whatever. So he ends up going to another city with somebody. I'm not going to say who it was, but he ends up going to another city. It was a guy, somebody, part of the family, whatever. He ends up going to another city with them. I don't think nothing of it, but he's there and he's like not really answering my phone calls at all. Like, he's not answering my phone calls. I got his location, so I see where he's at, but I'm not familiar with that city, so me seeing where he's at does not mean anything at all. So I'm blowing his phone up, texting him, whatever, he's not answering. So I eventually do get a hold of him. He comes home or whatever, and I found out that the ex that he called lives in that very city that he went to visit. Now, I don't know if he actually did anything. I have my suspicions, but I have no proof. He swears up and down that he ain't do nothing, but I don't know. Okay, my time is almost up, and it's only the tip of the iceberg. But when he got back home, I was like, okay, I'm upset that he went there in the same city as his ex and didn't tell me and then didn't answer the phone. He always swore up and down that he would never cheat on me. So, like, I'm not sure what to believe at this point. I'm angry, but at the same time, I'm relieved that he's here and that he's okay. So maybe everything will be fine now. Maybe he can be sober. Maybe that's what he needed in order to, like, reset, Maybe this is exactly what he needed, but no, that was not the case. Okay, y'all, I ran out of time, so I'm about to make part 2. And yeah, I'll see y'all there. Okay, here's part 2 of what I just posted. So, he just got home from going to another city that his ex just happened to live in. And I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be cool. Everything's going to be dandy. He's able to reset now and we're going to be great. No, that's not what happened at all. Things just continued to go downhill. He didn't get any better. He just got worse. Oh, and he just continued to, like, try to call his ex. And he kept saying, like, oh, she reached out to me. I'm not stupid. You was calling her. So, like, that pissed me off. That our relationship was, like, really on thin ice. And I was praying to God, like, writing in my journals, like, Lord, literally one page of my journal literally just said, God, please. That's literally it. I'm praying, like, Lord, why is this happening? I thought this was my husband. Like, why is he hurting me like this? It's not what I signed up for. I don't want this. I'm not happy. Yada, yada, yada. So I'm praying down. It was literally just me and God. That's the only way I kept myself sane. So anyways, fast forward. He ended up blocking her. Fast forward. This is Christmas Eve. And he has still been drinking pretty consistently at this point. He keeps saying he's going to stop because I'm doing everything I can to get him in rehab, but he refuses to go. And if y'all know anything about rehab, the person has to pretty much be willing to go, and he was not willing. So, it was Christmas Eve, and he had been drinking a lot. So, and we had family over. My family was over for a game night, and then halfway through game night, we were supposed to go to see his family. And so, I didn't know that he bought liquor, like a whole bottle of vodka that's about this big, this tall, and like a little bit wider than that. But a whole bottle of vodka. And he had been drinking on it. When I found out that he had that, I was like, yo, what's going on? Like, we're supposed to be going out with family. You should not be drinking right now. Like, what are you doing? He said, oh, it's cool. I got it. I can handle it. And I saw him pour one drink. But by the time a couple hours go from the time that he bought the bottles, it's time to go. It's only been like 2-3 hours. By the time it's that time, he keep his liquor in the closet. I open the closet, that bottle is almost completely gone. There was only like 2 to 3 shots left. I'm like, we're supposed to be going out, and you say you got it, but you didn't drink almost a whole bottle of freaking vodka at one time. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't vodka, it was tequila. So you drank about a whole bottle of tequila within a couple hours. And you think that we're about to go be around your family, they're not going to notice? Like, come on now. So I'm pissed. Like, for me, that was the straw that broke the camel back. I was already thinking in my head, like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I am so tired of this. I'm tired. I don't have nothing else to give. Even the little bit I had left to give, I don't want to give it no more. Like, clearly this man is not trying. He doesn't want this as badly as I do. So what is the point? So he's messed up at this point. So, but I'm trying to keep it together because people who don't know him could be like, oh, like he just, maybe he just, got a lot of energy or, something like that. People who don't know him like that wouldn't think that he was drunk until he started stumbling and stuff and slurring his words. But the person we were riding with, they knew him. The moment he opened his mouth to speak, they looked at me, I'm like, So that person turns around and say, oh no, y'all going back to the house. I ain't even mad at him because I would have did the same thing. Okay, like I get that. All right. So, but he's in the car mad, cussing, yelling. And I'm like, you're not finna disrespect this person like that. Like, stop talking to them like that. And he was mad at me because I wasn't defending him. But he lying to this person straight to their face. Lying. I'm not a liar. I don't like to lie. It eats me up inside. I'm not good at it. So I just don't say anything. I'm just like, I'm pissed. So I'm just staring out the window, shaking my leg like, I can't wait to get back to the house so I can chew this nigga out. I'm mad. So we get back to the house and he slammed the door to the car, storms inside. You know, I thank the person for the ride, apologize for everything, and I go inside. And this man already at the closet opening up the bottle of tequila. Like he ain't already drunk enough. Like he ain't learned his lesson. Already in there drinking, making noise while my family's in the house. My whole family's in the house. So they hear everything. The house not that big. So I'm like, you know, go outside with that. I don't want my family to hear. My son is here. You need to go outside with that. So he did not want to go outside, but I took the bottle from him and like coaxed him outside like a cat with some catnip. I was like, just come on. You want it, come on. So he eventually came outside and I was telling him like, you know, I'm tired of this. I don't want to be with you. I'm pissed. You're lying. Like he was trying to flip it on me like, this is your fault. You need to take accountability for your actions. You know you're not supposed to be drinking, but yeah, here you are. So I was like, you know, I'm done. I don't care about no apologies. I don't want to try again. I am done. I'm done. So we're arguing. He's yelling. He's cussing. I'm yelling. I'm cussing. I don't curse. So you know you got to get me out of character for me to say some bad words because I just don't curse. It's not in me. It's not who I am. So I'm like pissed. And we're going at it. And, you know, I take his bottle because he won't get off my porch. I asked him to leave 1,000 times. He wouldn't leave. So I took his bottle of tequila and went out in the street because I know he gonna follow it. So, and he did. So I had his bottle. I said, you know, come on, like, I want you to go. I don't want you here no more. And I started shoving him, not like pushing him with all my might, but just like a little shove, like, how could you do this to me? Why are you doing this? Like, you know, you promised me that you wouldn't, you know, stuff like that. So we're going at it, and he's saying this, and all he want, like, give me my bottle, Diana, give me my bottle. And then I was like, he threatened me. He said, like, he was like, I'm gonna punch you, like, I'm gonna punch you in your face. And I was like, I got in his face, like, do it. I double dare you to do it. Do it. Like, if you say you're gonna put your hands on me, do it. Be a man of your word for once. Do it. But he didn't do it. He was just looking at me like he was pissed. And all he kept asking for his bottle. So I shoved it to him. I was like, you know, had the bottle. I said, here, take it and go. Get the stepping. Like, it's illegal to walk down the street with an open bottle of liquor. But hey, not my problem anymore. Just go. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be with you. So I'm walking back on the porch and he's following me. I had already locked the front door by this time, by the way. I had already locked the front door because I knew he was going to try to get back inside. So he's following me. He get back on the porch and I keep telling him to leave. I was like, leave. I don't want you here. Leave. He refused to leave. Instead, he pushes me. He's pushing me at this point. And I got on heels. So I'm tumbling back. And the neighbors see everything. They're like, hey, man, chill. Y'all got to chill. Like, it's Christmas Eve. Don't do that. Whatever, man. Just leave her alone. Just go. No, he wouldn't listen. So he tried to go back in the house, but the door locked. So he banging on the door, ringing the doorbell. While my family is there, my son comes to the door to try to open the door. And I'm like, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Like, do not open the door. So my son sees me. He doesn't open the door. And by this time, my family is walking up to the door. My soon-to-be ex-husband looks me in my face with eyes so dark I don't recognize him. It was literally like he was possessed. Like something overtook him. Like, it scared me. He looked at me. He grabbed both hands and put them around my neck and was strangling me. I'm hanging over the railing on the porch with my feet dangling. And time is moving by slow at this point. I don't have any idea how long he strangled me. It could have been 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes. I wouldn't have known the difference because I was like out of body and things literally moved in slow motion. All I remember is staring at him with his hands around my neck thinking like, this man that I love is strangling me. He has his hands wrapped around my neck, holding me over the railing of my front porch. Like, there's bushes right there. I'm in the bushes. And he's strangling me. the man that I love is doing this to me. That's all I could think about. Then a family member of mine came out. He got him off of me. I called the police immediately as his hands off my neck. I called the police immediately. Like, come get this man. He claims he don't remember doing that. When he got to jail, he was calling me and saying, like, I'm so sorry. You know, I would have never done anything like that to you. I'm sorry. Like, can you please come get me? Yada, yada, yada. Like, you know, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I keep looking at my hands like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that to her. And I wasn't falling for it. At that time, I wasn't falling for it. I refused to bail him out. And I had PTSD. Time's almost up. I had to call the ambulance because my throat, like, I couldn't talk. My throat was so hoarse and it hurt to talk. It hurt to swallow. And I just had PTSD. I still do for a while. Anyways, next story in part 2. I'm sorry, actually, part 3. Part 3 of why I'm divorcing my husband after 3 months of being married. So, this is after New Year's. He's been bailed out, not by me, and he's staying with the family member now. So, we're supposed to be no contact. But he does end up contacting me. Eventually, I do come back around. I do not let him come back to live with me. We're still living separately, and we're still technically married, but separated. Like, we're like, okay, we're not together right now. We're gonna like work towards that, but there are some things that we both need to work on before we get back together, because I have some healing to do and you have some healing to do. Like, you need to get sober. So the deal was for him to go to AA meetings, take anger management classes, to do individual counseling, and then when the time was right, we was going to do couples counseling. So that was the deal. We had been talking mostly during that time, but the more time went, the less we talked, and he spent more and more time not talking to me, and it started to feel like I was the one that was trying to make up for something, and I felt guilty. A part of me felt guilty for him going to jail because he had never been violent towards me before that, and I mean never. So this took me off guard. He had never ever done anything like that to me. So I was like, okay, maybe he really doesn't remember. Maybe that's really not in his character. Maybe all those statistics about, domestic violence and spouses who strangle their partner, maybe I'm the exception to the rule. Like, I was still fearful, still had PTSD. I was still on the lookout, still very anxious to be around him. But I was willing to give it another chance because we're married. So I was like, okay, he has never done anything like that. So because it was an isolated event, I'm willing to do the work to overcome it. So time goes by and he's supposed to be sober, but I do recognize that he does occasionally drink, and now he has a weed pen. And I feel in my gut that we're not going to make it. I feel like, this is not something I can deal with. Even though I would hope that there was an isolated incident, I can't say that I will ever feel safe around you. Like, I don't know if that's something that I can ever get past, because I recognize now that when I did see him, I was always jumpy. I was always on edge. So fast forward, that's how things are going. So it's now my birthday. My birthday was February 7th. So it's my birthday now. He has a job where he's working like overnight and sleeps during the day. Since he started that job, we haven't been talking at all, really. Like, we would go like 2 days without talking. Not by any lack of my effort. I would call, I would text, no reply. And he was just always like, oh, my bad, I was asleep. Sorry, I'm just not seeing it. Yada, yada, yada. And I would be like, I feel like if you don't want to do this, just let me know. Like, if this is not something that you're willing to do, I feel like you don't like me anymore. And I was very anxious. Like, I had anxious attachment because I'm like, I feel like I'm being abandoned. Like, childhood trauma just was being triggered. So, I don't think too much of it. I know he got some mental things going on and he's working. Maybe he's just extra tired and he's sleeping a lot. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just depressed. So my birthday comes and I'm like, oh, I want to see you for my birthday. I'm out with my girls, so it's not like I spent the whole day with them. I just wanted to stop by and say hello. So I was like, I just want to see you for my birthday. Can I come over? And when he called me, something about him was like, have you been drinking? And he said no. And I was like, okay. And right then I had made up in my mind that if I get there and he's intoxicated, I'm going to leave and I'm going to be done because it's my birthday. You could have just held it together for my birthday. Like, the bar was in hell. It's not there no more, but the bar was in hell. Like, you could have just held it together for my day. And all I asked of him, because I knew he didn't have a lot of money because he was Ubering back and forth to work. So I know he didn't have a lot of money. That's not an excuse because I still feel like he could have got some flowers or something. He could have did something. And I did the most on his birthday. But I feel like he could have did something. So when I got to his place and I saw him, I automatically knew that he wasn't sober. Now, I can't say if it was like drunk sober. I mean, drunk, intoxicated, whatever, because when I tell y'all, it had been like 3 to 4 weeks since I saw him. And he looked completely different. His muscle tone was pretty much gone. His hair was just everywhere. Facial hair just everywhere. And his eyes were just like empty. They were empty. Not dark as in like, oh, he doesn't have a soul, but just like you looked in his eyes and was like, there's not a thought in the world behind those eyes. And at the same time, it just seemed like he was fighting internal battles. Like who he actually was lost somewhere inside of him. That's what it looked like when I saw him. And that scared me. Not scared me, it's like, oh, I'm scared for my life. But scared me is like, I am concerned. Like, if you keep going down this path, you're going to end up unalive. I'm concerned at this point. So when I see him, I'm like, what do you have going on? Like, are you intoxicated? Are you intoxicated? No. He's laughing. He's acting strung out, honestly. He's acting like he's on something else besides alcohol. But I'm like, bro, this is weird. So on the way walking towards his apartment, he keeps walking behind me. And my spidey senses is tingling. Like, my fight or flight instincts are up. So he keeps walking behind me, and I'm keep looking back, pulling him up beside me. Like, don't walk behind me. I don't like that. Walk beside me or walk in front of me, but don't walk behind me. So he is in front of me or whatever, and he opens the door to his apartment. We go inside, and we're talking, and he's just acting weird. Like, he's saying weird things. He's doing all like this. Just being weird, like strung out really. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. I'm about to go. I don't take my coat off, my hat, my purse. I still got everything with me. It's like, yeah, I'm about to go. And he stops me from leaving. Like, I walk to the door and he shuts, like he pushes the door closed when I'm at the door. And he sits there, locks the door, puts his hand like this, and it's like, you're not leaving. And he turned the lights off before he said this. He said, you're not leaving. So I'm backing up. I got my keys in between my fingers like this. Because I ain't got no weapon. But I got the sharpest key. And I'm going to be ready to jab you just in case I need to. So I'm backing up. And he walking closer. I'm backing up. He walking closer. I'm backing up. And it gets to a point where, like, I can feel myself shaking. Because at this point, I'm terrified. And, like, he keeps, like, trying to grab onto me. And I'm like, let me go, let me go. He said, just give me a hug. So I'll hug him. And then I let go. And I was like, okay, just let me go. And he steady walking towards me. So I sit on the couch and he's standing over me like this. Just standing over me. Just saying weird stuff. And at this point, I'm not crying, but you can tell I'm on the verge of tears. Because he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, you're scaring me. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to leave. I'm about to go. And he looked me dead in my face and he laughed. He said, you're not leaving here. I'm going to hurt you. He literally said it just like that. Just like that, that man looked at me and said that I'm not going to leave and that he was going to hurt me. At that point, I immediately jump up and I'm like, I'm leaving out this door. And I would hate to hurt you, but if you stop me, like, and he following me towards the door, he's walking behind me still. And once I'm walking towards the door, he grabbed me again, wrapped his arms around me. I was able to kind of dodge it a little bit because I already knew something was coming. Like, I knew in my head that if I didn't get out of the apartment, I was going to die. So I was already prepared for me to fight him off. So I got him off me. I walk out in the hallway. I'm glad I'm in the hallway at this point because there's neighbors. So if something happened, I was going to scream at the top of my lungs. So I'm walking down the hallway and he's like, oh, come back. I'm like, I didn't mean it. I was joking. Like, it was a joke. And I'm getting down the hallway. I'm not even turning around. I'm walking. He catches up to me and I said, like, do you remember what you said? He's like, what? And I told him. And he was like, oh, I didn't say that. You're hearing things. You're just hearing things. That scared me even more. I was like, nah, I'm about to go. So he was trying to coax me back inside, but I looked at him and everything in me told me if I were to go back into his apartment, I would not make it out. I knew that if I didn't get away, then I was going to end up dead. I don't care if he said he was joking or not. I was completely terrified. So I make it to my car. I get back home. Haven't heard from him since. He didn't call to apologize, hasn't called to check on me or anything. And actually, I blocked him on everything. And that was what led me to leave my husband. Because I'm afraid for my life. And I refuse to be a true crime story. If your husband or your person shows any signs of domestic violence, leave the first time. Even if they apologize and beg on their knees, leave, please.
I'm fully convinced that my OB tied my tubes without my consent. In 2024, I had a C-section with my daughter. She's like 15 months now, right? All through my pregnancy, I made it known that I wanted more kids. I wasn't interested in birth control after the fact because it does some crazy stuff with my body. But I made it very clear that I wanted more children, right? I have two. I'm 25. I was 24 when I was pregnant with my daughter. I wanted more kids. At my 36-week appointment, my doctor comes in and goes, so, do we want to sterilize you? And I said, no, I don't want to get sterilized. I want more children, right? Figured that was pretty clear. She says, okay, no problem, right? So I figured this would be the last I'm going to hear about it, right? Wrong. During that little time before you get like a surgery or you have a baby, they've sent a bunch of paperwork, right? The nurse comes in holding a piece of paper like this and goes, here's your sterilization paperwork. My what? No. I said, I didn't know. Take it away, I'm not signing it. She goes, why? It's written in your chart right here. Patient requested sterilization. No, I didn't. Don't sterilize me. Okay? I said, take it back, I'm not signing it. Okay? I want more children. I'm not signing it. And she goes, oh, there must have been a mix-up. I'll go grab your doctor. My doctor comes in and she goes, why won't you sign it? And I said, because I don't want to be sterilized. Why is that so hard to comprehend, right? And she goes, I have it written right here that you wanted to be sterilized. No, I didn't. Wrong patient. Not me. My husband's looking at me like, why would you request that? I didn't want to. I don't want to be sterilized. So I say, I'm not signing it. Take it away from me, right? Okay, fine. That's fine. Don't sign it. We won't sterilize you. Okay, that's fine. Great. Awesome. Don't have to worry about that anymore, right? No. They wheel me into the operating room so they can numb me, right? The anesthesiologist goes, so I see that we're doing a C-section and sterilization. Huh? I didn't sign anything. No, we're not. She goes, oh, it's in your notes that you signed it. Show me. Show me where I signed it. Because I didn't sign it. I signed the consent to have a C-section. And I read it. I read it through. Because I figured that they were trying to do something. Because why are y'all keep asking me if I want to be sterilized? I don't want it. Oh, okay, well, I see that she crossed it out, but then wrote it again. Why would she write it again? C-section goes on. I'm in the postpartum recovery. The nurse comes in to, I don't know what she was doing, taking vitals. And she goes, how are we feeling after the tubal and the C-section? What tubal? What are you talking about? What do you mean, how are we feeling after the tubal? My blood pressure went through the roof. My heart rate went. She goes, oh, what's wrong? And I said, what are you talking about? I didn't have a tubal. I didn't have a tubal. I never consented to it. Oh, well. Weird. We must have mixed you up with somebody else. Okay, let me talk to my doctor. Okay, we'll get her. Like 4 hours later, she comes in, right? What's wrong? Did you tie my tubes? Did you tie my tubes? No. Why would you say that? Because why is everybody that comes in contact with me saying, how are we doing after our tubal? If you didn't tie my tubes. If you didn't tie my tubes, why does everybody get it mixed up? Oh, there must be another patient that got a tubal. And then you have a similar name or something. That's what it is, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, sure. So since I had a C-section, I had a 2-week appointment, 4-week appointment, and 6-week appointment, right? I don't know if that's normal, it's just what I had. My 2-week appointment, I brought up birth control. I said, it's too early to talk about birth control now. At 6 weeks, just mark it in there that I'm not taking it. It makes me fucking crazy. And she goes, oh, we don't even need to discuss that. You got a tubal. Did I? I got a tubal. I said, where? Where did I get it? She goes, during your C-section. I said, no, where's the paperwork? Where's the paperwork that said that I said that it's okay? Because my C-section was flawless. 0 complications whatsoever. So there would have been no reason for me to get an emergency tubal, right? And she goes, oh, well, I don't have that paperwork. And I said, exactly. So why does everybody keep saying that I got a tubal? I didn't get one. She goes, that's really my mistake. It's gonna be your mistake, is what it's going to be. So naturally, I'm freaking the fuck out, right? Because why do y'all keep saying that I got it? I didn't say I wanted it, right? So I requested my medical records today because it's been bothering me, right? I am convinced they took my tubes out or tied them or burned them or whatever it is that they did. I'm convinced. Because why did you guys bring it up? Like 24 times. Probably 100. I told them no. My husband was there. There were a bunch of nurses in there. I said, no, I don't want a tubal. I'm young. Why would I want a tubal? I'm married and I want more children. Why would I want a tubal?
Okay, so this is my horror story with the OBGYN. So I just started seeing this OBGYN about a year ago. I only went in for one checkup. I didn't even see the OBGYN. I saw a midwife. And that was just like a general yearly annual women's wellness checkup. After that, I did get a pelvic transvaginal ultrasound to check for any cysts or endometriosis, which is what I was suspecting. So this appointment that I was going in for this particular day was with the OBGYN to discuss my results from the pelvic ultrasound. Mind you, it took them a month and a half for me to get my results. I had to make an appointment a month and a half out from the ultrasound just to get my results. Anyways, not me getting sidetracked. So I walk my little butt into the office and I sit down after checking in and I'm waiting there, waiting. Literally an hour goes by. 0 communication. I should have said something. That's my bad. Finally, my name gets called, so I walk into the little back area where they plop you down into one of the rooms, and the lady's like, the doctor will be here shortly. I'm like, great, thank you. 30 minutes go by, I shit you not. And I'm literally starting to get, like, really irritated, because I'm like, what is going on? So at this point, I'm like, bye, I'm leaving. Like, this is so unprofessional and, like, completely inconsiderate of my time. So I walk out of the little room, and I go to the front, and the girl who put me in the room, she's like, hey, where are you going? And I'm like, what do you mean, where am I going? Like, I'm leaving. Like, I've been here an hour and a half and no one said a damn thing to me. Like, she's like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like, we've just been so busy, blah, blah, blah. If you can just, like, give her, like, 5 more minutes, she'll be right in. And I'm like, okay, like, all I need is a little bit of communication. Like, I'm not upset with you, but, like, this is really, like, not good on your guys' behalf. So I walk back into the room, I sit down, sure enough, like 15 minutes go by. The doctor comes in and she's like, I'm so sorry, like my other patient, she's just a little like, I'm like, girl, bad start. Anyways, she sits down and she starts talking and she's asking me what's going on with me as if she doesn't have it like in the chart. I'm like, did you even read my chart? Anyways, I explained to her kind of reluctantly because all I want are my results. That's all I'm here for. And it's been an hour and a half at this point, like even more. And I'm just like so over it, honestly. And so I tell her my symptoms and she's like, like not even making eye contact with me. Like she's literally staring at the wall as I'm talking. Once I finish telling her, she starts going on this rant about how if I were born in like the 1800s, I would have had multiple kids by now, and that my body now is upset at me for not having kids, and that's why I don't ovulate well, verbatim. Keep in mind, she's not making any eye contact as she's saying all of this. She's still looking at the wall. So I'm just trying to like hold it together at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. why on earth are we talking about me, hypothetically, in the 1800s, being pregnant multiple times over? Like, what on earth does this have to do with me right now? And so I try to veer away from that. And I'm like, okay, well, so if I'm not ovulating well, if I don't ovulate well, then how do we fix that? And so she goes off on another tangent for like 5 minutes, just her talking about random stuff. Like, it was somewhat relative, but she never gave me an answer. She eventually got to the point where she was saying that I should get on like some sort of hormonal birth control to help resolve my issues. And I told her, no, like, I don't want to do that. I'm not really interested in taking medication to band-aid my issues. And she was like appalled by my personal, what I wanted to do with my body. And her demeanor just changed very, like, distinctly. Like, you could tell she was unhappy with me stating that. So then she was like, well, if you don't want to do anything, if you don't want to take any medication, then I don't know what you're even, like, asking. And so I go, I'm asking for you to find the root cause of my problem and not slap a Band-Aid over it or pretend like it's just because I don't ovulate well. Why do I not ovulate well? What's going on? What is the root cause? And at this point, like, she is so frustrated and the tension in the room is so just weird. Like, I never have weird interactions with people, and it was so uncomfortable. My face was red hot. My heart was literally beating out of my chest. Like, I hated it. And she was just so rude and disrespectful. And eventually I brought up the idea that I think I have endometriosis. And she was like, well, then you need to go on a hormone blocker. You need to go basically into medical menopause through this medication. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not going to do anything for me. And she was like, why not? And I was like, because it's not like going to tell me whether or not I do have it. And she told me the only way we're going to be able to tell if you do have it is through laparoscopic surgery, which I can do, but I don't think that's a smart decision at all. And she was basically belittling me and me, like, for me even asking about it, like endometriosis, that it could even be an issue. And it was just really crazy. And then at a certain point, I was like, well, like, what do you think I should do then, huh? And I'm sure you can guess what she said. Yeah, we just really want you to get on some birth control first to see if your symptoms feel any better. And then we can kind of, like, talk about, like, that moving forward.
This is my impression of people from the Midwest when they have a slice of pizza and they see ranch on the table.
I'm shaking right now. I'm gonna try and get through this video because I feel like, if anything, I just want to have awareness of this situation. I'm like on 10 right now. Okay. About 45 minutes ago, I got a call from my county sheriff's office. The tag on my phone and everything said that. And they told me that I had missed grand jury duty and I needed to get that absolved or resolved or whatever. And I needed to come down to the sheriff's office, sign some paperwork and all of this stuff to, say I never got jury duty. They asked me if the address they listed was my address. It was my address currently, and it was my last 2 addresses. And it was also my parents' address. And I said yes. And they said, okay, you need to come down here immediately so you are not detained, because I missed grand jury duty and it was yesterday or something, whatever. And they said, you need to get yourself together right now while you're on the phone. Don't hang up. Don't mute yourself. Like, get in your car immediately. Tell me what your speedometer number is. And get it, and like tell me every time that you stop or you turn. Like, stop light, stop sign, which way you're turning. If you're still going straight, you have to be on speakerphone the whole time. And then all the way to the sheriff's office. And the sheriff's office was 40 minutes from me. The sheriff's office was 40 minutes from me, and I started to get like weird and weary about it because like I've never heard of this before. Like, if you're gonna detain me, like, why wouldn't you just come to my house and arrest me? Which is really weird. And all of a sudden they're like, pull over to a safe location and we need to read you all these things regarding the situation. They were talking so fast, and I was started to get like, you know, the what the fuck is going on. And they were like saying all this stuff, and I was like not processing, and also like literally about to like pass out from the anxiety and of what was going on. And I was like, can you just send an officer out here or something to like verify that, you know, this is legit? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I feel unsafe right now. I can't drive like this either. Like, I'm like, you're saying you're going to arrest and detain me. Like, I was just so thrown off. And then they started like naming off my kids and like their ages and like stuff like that, like personal details about my family, like my parents, and who are all, like they lived and where I live and where I've been like living, my specific addresses, how old my kids were, stuff like that. And saying like, you know, like if I don't wire money, I was gonna be arrested, or they were gonna send people out to like see, you know, for my family. I can't even remember like the right wording because I was like at this point just like, I don't even know. Like, the amount of information that they had was really fucking scary, regardless if it was like a scam or not. Like, anyways, they were telling me to like wire money and all this stuff, and giving me like a time frame in which I had to do so, or else, you know, they were gonna come find me, come find my family, like all this stuff. And it was really fucking scary. Like, I'm like sitting in my car because they told me to pull over to do this, and they were like, you can't call anybody, you can't do anything. Like, they blocked my phone from calling. I don't even know how that's possible. They blocked my phone from being able to call or anything. Like I could not hang up, I couldn't do nothing. And all I could do was text, thank God. And I texted my husband. I was like, call 911 and like tell them where I am. Like, I sent somebody out here right now because like I'm really scared because they, you know, like they know all your information. So he got somebody come down here, the officers, and they like pulled up. And I just like opened my car and like handed my phone to them. And they like heard them talking, and like they were sending me like federal documents and saying this stuff about my family and all this stuff. And the officer like took down like all the things they were saying and their number and all that, and eventually like, you know, told them that they were police, and they like hung up and whatever, obviously. And like, you know, at the end of the day, I guess everything is fine. And they were like, the odds of them actually like coming, you know, after you and your family is slim. But it's just the part that they knew so many details about everything. And it's like, I just feel so freaking unsafe. And like, I just never experienced something like this. That was so scary. And like, the mom in me is just like, you know, protect my babies. Like, I don't even know, like, just one of the scariest moments I've ever had, just in that moment of just, my family was threatened. It's like, all this stuff. Anyways, all to say that, just, you know, if this ever happens to someone else, it's a scam, obviously, but I guess be careful out there.
Hi, do you like cuddling? Do you like thunderstorms? Do you like movies? Great! Come down and fill out an application to be Jen's Thunder Buddy. All we want to do is sit inside and watch movies and listen to rainstorms.
Everyone kind of wants a story time on what happened to Aaliyah. Okay, Aaliyah is my 4-year-old whose dad her for pretty much a year, and the courts, FWPD and CPS completely failed her. So the first incident we ever had was March 1st. She came home to me, and I had just moved into an apartment on February 29th. So March 1st, I was kind of like putting everything up. She walked up to me and she gave me a hug. And as I was putting her down, I noticed there was something on her ears. When I checked her ears, I messaged her dad. I asked him, like, what happened with her ears? And he was like, oh, well, she's been picking, pushing, and pulling on them. And I said, okay. Well, I called my aunt and I was like, hey, can you look at her ears and like tell me what I need to do? And she was like, I would take her to the urgent care. And so I slept on it. The next day I said, something's just not right. Like, if something did, with the way her ears looked, it was more than pushing and pulling, but I thought maybe she needed like blood work done. So I take her to the urgent care by my house. They're closed. I then take her to the children's hospital. When I take her to the children's hospital, instantly the nurse, after looking at her ears, asking me what happened, I showed her the messages between me and her dad, and she said, I'm going to tell you right now, because you're going to be hearing this a lot, this is consistent with child abuse. I said, okay. We went through that appointment. They called CPS. The next day, CPS knocks on my door. I show them the text messages between me and dad. They look at her ears. They open up an investigation. Shortly after that, I get served divorce papers. We go to the first court date, and it's a mediation. We're trying to mediate, right? So I'm asking for 50-50 custody, $600 a month in child support, because we always agreed that if we ever split up, that's what it would be. He says no. He will buy clothes for my house. He will buy diapers because she was potty training. But that is like the extent that he will help. I said no. Nothing comes out of that court date. We have to go back to court. When we go back to court, we try to mediate again. It doesn't work out. First court date, the attorneys go in front of the judge, and the judge pretty much says that I cannot keep her from him, because from the time CPS gets called to this court date, which was 16 days, I had her in my care. The judge tells me, like, you can't keep her from her dad, and I have to give her to him between the court dates. So we go to the next court date. We try to mediate again. Doesn't work out. We try to go into the courtroom, and the judge pretty much tells us, like, no, you guys just wasted my time trying to mediate, and you're showing up to court 45 minutes late. We're not doing it. I then give her to him like 2 or 3 more times until the next court date. The beginning of April, we get into court again. When we go to court this time, we don't even try to mediate. We go straight into the court proceedings. At that court date, his attorney tried to say that the reason I took her to the hospital is because I knew he was going to serve me divorce papers. That wasn't the truth, but it was because my daughter had bruising on her ears. He testified, I testified, CPS testified. What the judge ended up picking was I got custodial parent. He got her every single Thursday, and then the first, third, fifth weekend of the month. CPS couldn't rule what happened to her. She had been at my house. Within 48 hours, she had been at my house, daycare, and his house. He tried to pin it on daycare. So they had to rule that they didn't know what happened, and we had to proceed with our regular custody that the judge picked. We also had to go through home inspections, I don't know if it was a parenting class or like a couple. It was pretty much based around parenting while separated. We got those done. We were supposed to go back to court eventually. We did not. Okay? So that was the first child case that we had, was March of 2023. And there is 2 more CPS cases after that, and there is also a full month of July that some stuff happened that I'll pretty much explain later on. But I just wanted to explain that was the very first thing that ever happened.